I know that all of you have loved a fictional character before, at least one. Maybe you've become so attached to a certain character that it becomes an obsession. When I was younger, I read relentlessly, to the point where my parents had to take my books away so I would do something else. The characters in my books were just so ecstatically important to me. Then it occurred to me, the characters are not real. The author of the book has done the job extremely well. I've become emotionally attached to a make-believe character. So how do you create a character that can become this real to somebody else? Well, for me, it started young. What you're seeing now are drawings I've done of people from the age of 5 and up. Always, I've been fascinated by characters and people, real and not real. I love drawing, reading, and writing from a very early age, and I always focus on developing very detailed characters. There are so many drawings like these. Recently, my visual art has developed into something a little more realistic, more representational, figurative, human. And then I got into drama. Drama is centered around character. You are literally becoming another person, stepping in another person's shoes. Honestly, I had never really realized how my deep interests in drama, writing, and art were connected. Then one day my mom said to me, "You have a real interest to focus on people." Wow, I had seriously never understood why I always drew portraits or created detailed characters in my writing. I'm an introvert most of the time, but I'm always interested in people and characters. In my creative writing, I come up with the characters' personas and small defining details before I know anything about the plot. And many times, I will see a photo and develop a fully formed character in my mind. For example, I was browsing Pinterest, as you do, and I came across a picture of a girl wearing a straw hat. And I was like, bam, monologue. So, meet Emmy. Oh, you want me to take my hat off? Sure. I've been taken off since the 8th grade. I'm obviously showered. I'm not that disgusting. Have you been to church before? Yes? Oh, well, I haven't. I don't really know how it works here, so just tell me when to shut up. It's so interesting. I feel like this is a snippet of what the Sistine Chapel would feel like. That's one of my dream places to go. The Sistine Chapel or the Colosseum. I want to travel the world as an architect, but my granny said I should come to church when I needed an answer to a big question, or to get educated in the ways of the Lord. I'm not exactly sure which Lord she was talking about, although if it was Da Vinci, then yes ma'am, I will worship until my soul bursts. I think she was talking about Jesus though. But I do have a big question, so I decided to see what this church business was all about. I never really believed in anything, but maybe it's about time. When I was little, my mom used to tell me stories about angels. Those are some of my favorite memories with her. I know angels are a part of religion and all, but to me, they've been more like guiding souls that bring you a sense of comfort when you feel like the world doesn't care about you. I hope the minister talks about angels. I think I can use a soul guide. So, that was just a short piece of full character, but hopefully you gained a little bit of insight on that. So how do you create a character? You need inspiration, just to go from a character. For Emmy, it was a photo on Pinterest and it went through a tree outside my window. But it could be seeing someone walking on the street and wondering what their life's like. We all do that. After you've gained your main source of inspiration, to make your character seem real and intriguing, there are several techniques. First, start off with the given circumstances, created by Constantine Stanislavski, who was born in 1863, and he was one of the most famous acting coaches in the world of theater. Who, what, when, where, why. So, who's your character? Who are they talking to? What's going on in the scene? Or what is the character's goal? Where does it take place? When does it take place? Why is this person talking? Why is it even important? How are they feeling? And what's the mood and tone of this piece? So I filled these questions out there. It can be very short, very simple if your character, like mine, was just for one monologue, but you If you're writing a whole book, you might want to get pretty detailed about this. Okay. Next, a goal for your character. It has to be specific, so a goal such as she wants to be happy is way too vague and uninteresting. An example could be your character wants to get hired at a grocery store so that they can save up money for their grandma, or something like that. Okay, if you're performing your character, I'm going to talk about 3 main ways of getting into it. Outside in, inside out, and method. Outside in. The actor uses their character's outside appearance to reflect their inner character. Inside out is the opposite, is the actors use their character's inner emotions and goals to reflect their outer act. Actors who use method immerse themselves in their characters so deeply that it can be seriously tricky to find themselves again after literally becoming another person. For example, Daniel Day-Lewis, known as the king of modern method acting, caught pneumonia when he refused to wear a coat for one role. There's many more crazy examples of what method acting can do to a person. So back to character development. Your characters need to have a life before the story begins. A history, a future, a goal, a fatal flaw, and a whole personality. Basically anything that a real-life person has. Sometimes it can be hard to plan out an entire character before you start writing, and that's okay, as long as you have enough to work with and your character doesn't seem stereotypical or flat. When reading, we don't fall in love with the character's appearance. We fall in love with their words, their thoughts, and their hearts. We fall in love with their souls. So write about their souls. You don't really need to know the specific shade of your character's hair color, because when you're reading or writing, you have an image of them in your mind. What you want to know are their actions, their choices, their souls. Writing lets us create souls we wish we knew, characters we love, and friends that exist only in our own worlds. Acting lets us step into another person's shoes and live in another world for a while. These art forms bring us a better understanding of the world and our place in it. And if you want to get philosophical about it, they can help us discover the meaning of life, of our own lives. Stories and the characters in them are written and told for so many reasons. As best-selling author Salman Rushdie says, "When a child is born, the first thing the child requires is safety and love. The next thing that the child asks for is tell me a story."